See, the most successful people in history weren't lucky. They were resilient. They looked pain in the face and said, I will grow from you. I will rise through you. I will win because of you. Don't waste your pain. Don't numb it. Use it. Use it to sharpen your focus, to discipline your habits, to strengthen your commitment. Use it to become someone you were too comfortable to become before. If you're in pain right now, congratulations. You've been given a rare and powerful chance, because pain doesn't come to stay, it comes to shape. So the next time life hits you hard, remember, that pressure you're feeling is not there to crush you. It's there to make you a diamond. Turn your pain into purpose. Turn your struggle into strength. Turn your wounds into wisdom. And turn every moment of suffering into the spark that lights your fire of success. Pain is the pressure that forges persistence. It's the discomfort that demands action. And when you stop running from it, when you sit with it, study it, and let it teach you, you uncover truths about yourself that ease would never reveal. Most people waste their pain. They drown it in distraction. They bury it in blame. But those who succeed, those who rise, take ownership of it. They ask, what is this trying to show me? Where can I grow? What must I change? Because nothing changes until something hurts. And when it does, you have a decision. Fold or forge forward. Look at the path to mastery in any field. Pain is present in every corner. The athlete breaking his limits, the entrepreneur failing again and again, the artist pouring her soul into work no one sees. Success leaves scars, but those scars tell stories of discipline, of courage, of choosing to rise again when it would have been easier to quit. You must not only endure pain, you must reframe it. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Start saying, what is this preparing me for? That one shift transforms pain from an enemy into a mentor. Discomfort stretches potential. It calls you beyond the borders of your current self. If you want more than average, you have to become more than average. And to become more, you must pass through the fire of struggle. That fire? It burns away excuses. It destroys laziness. It eliminates anything that isn't built for greatness. But what's left after the burning is pure, focused, unshakable. Too many people wait for the perfect moment. They wait until the pain stops. But the truth is, the path doesn't get easier. You get stronger. You learn to walk through storms without flinching. You learn that setbacks are not signs to stop. They're signals to level up. And here's the truth no one tells you. Pain is the price of growth. You can't become powerful by avoiding it. You become powerful by embracing it, learning from it, and using it as the raw material to build something extraordinary. So every moment that breaks you also builds you. If you let it. Every tear you've cried, every silent failure, every time you felt invisible, that was not the end. It was a beginning, a chapter, a challenge designed to provoke your potential. That pain was there to push you out of your old story, to force you into evolution, to strip away everything that was comfortable but unworthy of who you're becoming. And when you understand that, when you stop resenting pain and start responding to it, you realize your greatest power has always been born in your lowest moments. The ones who rise are not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who learned how to alchemize pain into progress. They turned sleepless nights into strategy, turned rejection into redirection, turned heartbreak into hunger. They realize that pain is feedback. It tells you where the growth is. It points to your weakness, not to shame you, but to say, strength must be built here. So instead of retreating, they lean in. They get curious. They get to work. When you understand that, pain loses its power to paralyze. It becomes a compass instead. If something hurts, it means something matters. It means there's work to do. And if there's work to do, there's worth behind it. The difference between the person who wins and the one who walks away is often just one thing: the willingness to keep showing up while it hurts. That is the edge. That is where champions are made. Not when it's easy, not when they feel ready, but when every voice in their head is saying, quit, and they choose to move anyway. You can't fake your way through that moment. You can't skip it. That moment is the gatekeeper, and only the committed walk through. But here's the secret. Every time you choose to rise in the face of pain, you get stronger. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually. Your tolerance for discomfort expands. Your discipline deepens. You begin to crave the challenge because you know what's on the other side of it. Comfort has never built empires. Ease has never created excellence. If you want to live a life that means something, you must be willing to be uncomfortable for a long time, without applause, without reward, without recognition, until suddenly it all connects. And when it does, you won't look back and wish the pain never happened. You'll look back and realize it was the best thing that ever did. Because pain doesn't just build resilience, it reveals truth. It shows you who your real friends are. It exposes your deepest fears. It drags your insecurities into the light, and it dares you to face them. Most people run from that mirror, but you have to stand in front of it. Not because it's easy, because it's necessary. Because greatness is forged, not found. And the fire that forges you won't feel like progress at first. It'll feel like chaos, like confusion, like failure. But that's what transformation always feels like at the beginning. When the pressure rises, so must you. When the weight gets heavy, don't curse it. And if your legs shake, let them shake. If your hands tremble, let them tremble, but do not stop. Because one day, the pain you feel right now will become the strength you never thought you'd have. And when that moment comes, you won't just be successful, you'll be unbreakable. Because you didn't just survive your pain, you used it. Most people wait for pain to pass so they can start again. But those who truly grow know that pain is the starting line. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They act inside the imperfect one. They don't wait to feel ready. They move while scared, while broken, while uncertain. Because they understand that action isn't a luxury. It's the lifeline. Pain will either be the reason you stop or the reason you rise. You get to choose every time. And it's not a one-time decision. It's daily, hourly, sometimes minute by minute. You choose whether to lean into the discomfort or retreat back to safety. But nothing significant was ever born in safety. It's in the hard conversations, the quiet sacrifices, the nights when no one claps and no one sees. That's where the future is forged. The applause comes later. The recognition comes later. But the decision, the fire, the foundation, that comes now. In the middle of the struggle, in the dark. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. They want shortcuts. They want secrets. But the only real secret is this. Learn to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. That's the rare trait. That's what separates the few from the many. Because there will be days when your motivation fails you, days when your energy disappears. That's when you find out whether this was just a wish or a decision. Pain clarifies commitment. It tests whether you were interested or invested. And every time you pass that test, your character expands. Your confidence grows. Not from comfort, not from convenience, but from the battle. From doing the hard thing again and again when no one would have blamed you for walking away. This is where power is built, not through perfection, but through persistence. Through falling 7 times and standing up 8. Through tears that don't stop you and doubts that don't define you. Through being relentless, not flawless. When the pressure hits, that's not a sign to fold. That's your cue to evolve, to rise with new strength. Because you weren't made to break. You were made to bend, to adapt, to rise stronger after every impact. Pain doesn't make you weak. Hiding from it does. So feel the pain. Let it punch you in the chest. Let it hit you in the gut. But don't you dare back down. Turn that pain into your power source. Let it remind you why you started. Let it show you how far you've come. Let it call out the fighter in you that comfort kept sleeping. Every scar becomes a signature. Every wound becomes part of the work. And one day you'll look back and realize that your story wasn't written in spite of the pain, but because of it. The pain shaped the path, and you walked it step by step into your strength. People think pain is punishment, but it's not. It's preparation. Every time it shows up, it brings with it a lesson. Something you were meant to see, meant to face, meant to outgrow. But that lesson only reveals itself when you stop avoiding it and start confronting it. Pain exposes what's weak so that it can be rebuilt strong. You don't need to be fearless, you need to be willing. Willing to show up with fear in your chest, with doubt in your mind, and firing, because that willingness is what moves mountains, not talent, not luck. Just a stubborn refusal to quit. There are people half as smart, half as experienced, half as talented as you, living the life you want. Why? Because they leaned into discomfort faster. They acted through the fear. They didn't let the sting of failure stop them. They welcomed it as part of the process. Pain doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It means you're on the real one. The one where growth lives. The one that demands your full presence, where you can't fake it. You either rise or you repeat. You either grow or you stay stuck. There is no middle ground. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner your life starts moving. The world is full of people who almost made it, people who gave up one try too soon, one phone call away, one idea away, one more push, one more moment of grit. But they let pain convince them they weren't meant for it. Pain doesn't mean you're not meant for it. Pain proves you are. Because the road to greatness is paved with resistance. And if it hurts, it's working. If your dream doesn't cost you comfort, it's not a dream. It's a distraction. Something easy, something safe. Dreams worth chasing will demand your energy, your attention, your courage. They'll require you to confront every weakness, every insecurity, and still move forward anyway. That's what separates winners. They don't wait to feel ready. They don't wait until the fear goes away. They act through it. They don't let the pain of the process scare them out of the promise. Because at some point, pain becomes part of your identity. Not as something that broke you, but something that built you. It becomes your edge, your advantage. Because when others are still waiting for conditions to be perfect, you've already learned to build in the storm. You've learned to trust the grind, to honor the struggle, to rise even when your legs shake, even when your voice cracks, even when everything in you says, this is too much. Because you've learned that too much is where the magic lives. That's where the transformation happens. That's where you find the real you, not the one shaped by comfort, but the one carved by pain. And when you find that version of yourself, everything changes. Not just what you do, but who you become in the process. The pain you carry is not a burden, it's a blueprint. It's showing you where you're meant to grow, what you're meant to overcome, and who you're meant to become on the other side. But none of that happens if you numb it, avoid it, or run from it. Growth doesn't live in escape. It lives in engagement. The strongest people aren't the ones who've had the least pain. They're the ones who learned how to work with it. They sat in it. They asked it questions. They let it stretch their patience, sharpen their vision, and strengthen their grit. They didn't waste time asking, why me? They asked, what now? And the answer was always the same. Keep moving. That's what this journey demands. Movement, forward motion, even when it's slow, even when you're limping, even when you're not sure where it's leading. Because pain has a strange way of making you second-guess your path. But here's the truth. The fact that it hurts means it matters. The fact that it challenges you means it's changing you. So don't wait for the storm to pass. Become the one who can walk through it. Let the wind shape you. Let the rain wash away what no longer serves you. Let the struggle introduce you to the version of yourself you haven't met yet. The one who doesn't flinch, doesn't fold, and doesn't quit. That version is already inside you, but pain is the key that unlocks it. The question is, will you use the key or keep it buried? Every breakthrough comes on the other side of breakdown. Every triumph comes after the test. And every success story you admire was once just someone in pain who chose not to give up. That's the truth no one sees when they only look at the highlight reel. But behind every win is 1,000 invisible moments of doubt, defeat, and relentless effort. You won't always be the fastest, the smartest, or the most talented, but you can always be the most willing to feel the pain, willing to face the fear, willing to show up again and again, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because the pain is not the end of the road, it's the start of a new one. And the moment you stop resisting it, the moment you start embracing it, that's when everything shifts. So use your pain, let it fuel the fire, let it wake you up, let it push you forward. Don't curse the struggle, honor it, because it's the sign you're still in the game, still breathing, still building, still becoming. And when you finally arrive at your success, not by accident, but by design, you'll know exactly how you got there. You turned your pain into purpose. You turned your scars into strength. You didn't run from it. You rose through it. And that right there is what separates those who only dream from those who do. I'd like to start a scream, but that has never been safe in this world, and not really deserves to be safe.